Okay, looking at chapter 4 and chapter 5 from our book, and also the latest video reasoning why students and often teachers don't reason well. Um, some of my thoughts or some of my takeaways. First of all, chapter 4, the, uh, the the thing that I took away the most from this particular chapter was the discussion about the mind's three distinctive functions: thinking, feeling, and wanting. The book states our mind is continually communicating three things: what is going on in our life, and then number two, positive and negative feelings about those particular events that are going on. Number three, where to put our energy in light of number one and number two. Um, and that is this is causing me and us in our class to think about thinking, and think about what it means to try to develop a self understanding. Um, the book also states we live in an unconscious special relationship with our own minds, and that's so true. And um, sort of kind of a just to reading that is kind of one of those aha moments that um, you know, I don't really feel as if myself and my mind are two separate entities. But our minds. I mean, the way that the book states that, it almost puts our minds in a separate category from ourselves, and we live in. Um, we live in harmony with our own minds. We are what the decisions we make based on thinking, feeling, and wanting. When something's coming up in my life that maybe incites fear or um, anxiety, I tend to not want those feelings of fear and anxiety. So one of my natural behaviors over time, or trained behaviors that I've trained my mind to do, is uh, to try and not think about things that might bring about fear or anxiety, and sort of maybe become a procrastinator in that regard, because I don't want to have to experience the feelings of fear and feelings of anxiety and doubt and things like that are inherently negative in my mind. And that's I that is something that I need to improve, and I'll improve that if I become more self-conscious and understanding about my own mind and my own thought process. Um, Another quote that I really liked, towards the end of chapter 4: "Your thinking controls every part of your life, but are you controlling? Are you in control of your thinking?" Um, Something that one of those taglines that left me with an aha moment. Am I really do I have control over my thoughts? And again, talking about wanting to run away from things that cause fear, that's in my opinion showing a lack of control in my own thoughts, and as opposed to maybe facing them, facing a fear head on, and understanding and considering different viewpoints, and a different, more positive mindset towards those. Chapter 5 talks about the first four stages of development, and the unreflective, challenged, beginning, and practicing stages of thought. There's also advanced and accomplished. I'm certainly not accomplished in most phases of my thinking. I would consider myself to be a beginning thinker, and I operate in that beginning stage most of the time, and occasionally probably slip back into a challenge state. Um, this is one of those things that throughout the MLA process, hopefully, all of us have been challenged and improved on the state critical thinking development stages, and maybe hopefully are developing towards being a practicing thinker and an advanced thinker, and for those that are elite at thinking, the accomplished level as well. That's again, you can relate that relates to any aspect of life. For me, coaching and teaching are the two big things that I find myself in leadership, that I find myself trying to draw back towards and draw upon. And so um, I can improve in those areas, and it's good to see the different stages and where I think I'm at, and sort of to reflect on that. Um, the video, why students and teachers don't reason well. again, I really enjoy these because, as I stated before, the applications in the classroom from a teaching standpoint, he's having a conversation with teachers, and so the application to the classroom is just it's right there for me to pull from, and along those same lines, the biggest takeaway for me when he talks about how 30% of teachers actually know and successfully evaluate reasoning. 70% don't evaluate reasoning correctly. He responded with, the evidence was shown in a response paper written by a student that um, essentially the student was asked about music and why he liked a certain type of music, but he didn't have the evidence that was able to provide a thorough answer. He answered the question correctly from a reasoning standpoint. He analyzed the question. He makes an inference that is educated, and then he explains it, the conclusion why he comes to an answer. He went about the whole process of sound reasoning. He considered other viewpoints as well, and he came to the conclusion that he doesn't have the answer to why he likes a certain type of music. In truth, this is sound reasoning. In practice, most teachers would score this poorly because the student didn't answer a question correctly, or wasn't able to, not answer a question correctly, wasn't able to provide an answer to the question that was given. In reality, that student did provide an answer. The answer was that they didn't have enough evidence to explain why. And so this is something that as I step into the classroom this next school year, that I'm going to definitely consider on with regards to the way assessments are evaluated and the way assessments are given. Students, if they're able to reason and logically come to conclusions, then that doesn't mean that their answers are incorrect if they don't have a black and white answer that's written out on paper as to why. And so that's something. And again, I really enjoy these videos because it's very applicable to my life and to my experiences and to my future as well. So that's all I got. Thank you.